The orphanage at New Oslo was quiet that morning, nestled within the green valleys of post-war Earth. It stood as a beacon of recovery and hope. 100 children, many of them war orphans, lived under the care of a few kind-hearted staff. The sky was blue, birds chirped again on Earth, and for the first time in decades, peace felt real. Until the sky screamed. It wasn't a natural sound. It was the ripping shriek of orbital descent. Before any warning could be given, before evacuation could be sounded, a burst of light tore through the clouds. A kinetic Rodno warhead, no mercy, slammed into the center of the orphanage with the force of a small nuclear blast. Where no survivors. The attackers didn't claim responsibility. They didn't need to. Everyone knew the Vorta Coalition had been at odds with humanity for years, but they never dared strike Earth directly. This was different. This wasn't a strategic hit. This was a message, and humanity heard it loud and clear. Admiral Reina Vasquez stood at the helm of the UHS Vindicator, Earth's most advanced dreadnought. Her jaw was clenched tight, eyes fixed on the tactical display as a hologram of the Vorta home system floated above the table. No more sanctions, she said. No more diplomacy. They bombed children. Around her, the room was silent. Fleet commanders, generals, politicians, they all knew what came next. Operation Firesteel is green, Vasquez said. We burned their skies. The Vorta never expected such speed. In less than 72 hours, the 4th Terran Armada had arrived in Vorta space. No warnings, no ultimatums, no parley. Just engines roaring, weapons primed, vengeance cold and calculated. The first strike hit the Vorta shipyards. 12 orbital facilities were vaporized in synchronized railgun fire. Their planetary defense grid barely had time to power up before Terran stealth bombers slipped through atmospheric gaps and introduced antimatter payloads into every military outpost. But this wasn't conquest. This was retribution. On the Vorta Council moon, panic reigned. High Chancellor Skirvan paced before his advisors. They've gone mad, he hissed. This level of retaliation is disproportionate insane. They are human, replied General Takriel grimly. You struck them at their heart. You made them feel weak. Now they must remind the galaxy they are anything but. But it was only an orphanage, strategically insignificant, and yet that made it sacred. The Terrans didn't stop at orbital strikes. They landed. Fire teams of enhanced infantry, the Revenants, hit the ground like hammers of wrath. Clad in exo-armor, moving with unholy speed, they tore through Vorta garrisons. They didn't take prisoners. They didn't ask questions. They came with flamers, railguns, and a fury born from centuries of survival against the stars. A single Revenant unit recorded a message and broadcast it across the system. This is for the laughter silence in the valley. This is for tiny shoes buried in ash. This is for the drawings that will never be finished. You wanted to see what humanity looks like when it stops holding back. Now you learn. The Vorta begged for a ceasefire. Earth ignored them. The humans didn't want surrender. They didn't want treaties. They wanted grief answered with consequence. Pain with pain. Flame with fire. In orbit, the Vindicator rained down tungsten rods onto Vorta cities, not their capitals, not their financial hubs, but their temples, their libraries, their cradles of culture. They weren't killing for strategy. They were killing symbols, just as the Vorta had killed theirs. A message, clear and terrible. No innocence is safe when ours is taken. At last, with over 2 billion Vorta dead and their fleet shattered, a broken transmission came through. A Vorta child. Couldn't have been more than 6 human years old. Shivering, eyes wide, voice trembling. Please, stop, it hurts. Humanity heard. And paused. Not for the Vorta military. Not for their leaders. But for the child. Admiral Vasquez gave a single nod. Message received. The bombardments ended. The fleet pulled back. The firestorm ceased, but the steel remained, hanging in orbit like judgment, waiting to fall again. Back on Earth, where the crater still smoldered where New Oslo once stood, a monument rose, a twisted beam of steel, melted, and forged into a statue of children holding hands. Names engraved in platinum. Above it, in bold Terran script, they bombed an orphanage. We answered. Across the galaxy, the message spread. Don't poke the sleeping human. They are kind. They are builders. They are dreamers. But hurt their children, and they will become monsters of fire and vengeance.